Welcome to this session of Code Rage 8. My name is Girish Patil, and I'm the founder of Gnostice Information Technologies. Up until now, Gnostice provided components for working with PDF documents. About a year ago, we released the .NET version of our new multi-format document processing library, which enabled developers to implement PDF and Office document processing tasks in their applications. Now, we have the pure Delphi version of this library, and that's what we're going to see today. The new Gnostice product for Delphi for working with PDF and Office documents. Here's the plan for this session. Before we go into the real stuff, it may be useful to know why and how this new technology came about. So we'll see a bit of that. Then we'll understand the vision we have and the goals we set for this new technology that we call Xtreme DocumentStudio. Then we'll see demos of the capabilities of this new product. Then we'll look at some internal details of the product with regard to architecture and design. We'll then see more demos which take us deeper into the product. And by then it'll be time for Q&A. And we'll go into Q&A after getting some general product information and the special discount we have for Code Rage. So how did this new technology come about? I actually need to go into the background to tell you the story. Our first products were for exporting reports to popular electronic formats such as PDF, HTML, RTF, and so on. These products just did one thing, that was export reports, and we had separate products for each reporting tool. One for Quick Report, one for Fast Report, one for Rave, and so on. These products were tied to the reporting tools, and there was a lot of duplication of effort and code whenever we wanted to enhance the products. It was not a good situation for growing the products. There was a need for innovation, and it came in the form of eDocEngine. In eDocEngine, we decoupled the document creation code and the report interfacing code and added more capabilities to allow for more ways of creating documents. It's been 10 years since, and it still works. Around the same time as eDocEngine, we created PDF Toolkit, and this was initially driven by customer requests for a product for working with existing PDF documents. The seed for an integrated product for working with and creating PDF documents and possibly multiple document formats was planted then. While that thought process continued, we kept getting more requests from users. There were requests to overlay PDF templates on exported reports, to export reports to PDF and then merge them with other PDFs, and many such requests. All this was possible with the combination of eDocEngine and PDF Toolkit, but not in a single product. We came closer to realizing our vision when we created PDF1 for .NET and Java, where all functionality for PDF was integrated into a single product. And naturally, it was time for the ultimate, the product for doing everything with documents and with support for more and more formats as a single integrated solution. To sum it up, this was our vision for Xtreme DocumentStudio: to enable software creators to implement every function with electronic documents their business applications need to get done by providing an integrated native multi-format document processing product. And the difference from what is available currently is implied in the underlined words. To set our first goal, we chose features that would require us to architect and design the complex parts of the framework. And viewing is a feature That's probably the most difficult to achieve. But getting it done would help us map the whole of the document format and design for it. So we chose multi-format viewing, printing, and conversion as our first goal. Okay, it's time to see the real product in action now. So let's switch to the IDE. I have set up a demo which uses the document viewer component. Let's just run this demo and see how the viewer performs as we throw it different kinds of documents. So first, I'm loading some DOCX files. This is a document that contains paragraphs with different kinds of paragraph alignments. And then there's a file with different kinds of fonts used in it. Here's a document that uses a lot of styles. And the Xtreme DocumentStudio DocX rendering also supports styles. And if you can see here, it also supports all the viewing tools such as zooming in, page navigation, and we can grab the page and move it around like this, set the standard zoom types, and even rotate the page. Some more features of DocX rendering. So this is the ability to handle columns, multiple columns in a document, and also images. Now let's load something else. Let's load some PDF documents. This is a document with a lot of fonts used, embedded fonts, non-embedded fonts, and so on. And this is one more slightly larger document with lots of text, some images, and then here's a document that is password protected. And the dialog that you saw was the built-in dialog that the viewer threw up for a password protected file. And if you notice, the viewer interface hasn't changed at all from loading a DocX and a PDF, and all the viewing features are supported for both the formats. And the same goes with image files as well. So I'm going to load a multi-page TIFF file into it now. It loads it up and allows you to scroll through the pages just as you would scroll through the pages of any other document. PNG files, meta files, icon files, and JPEG files. Let's close this viewer now and go back into the IDE to have a look at the code. So a couple of things. To implement the viewing tools for the viewer, like the toolbar, the viewer provides actions that you can just select for the button, and here are the actions. So there's a Gnostice document viewer group which has all the actions associated with the viewer, such as zoom, page navigation, opening a document, closing a document, and rotation, and so on. And then the viewer has these properties to enable whether to show the password dialog or not, and then how many tries we want to give to the end user to try and enter the correct password. And then there's also the properties for setting the resolution of rendering, then the zoom property, and yeah, that's what is exposed at the moment. But if you can see, the properties are all nicely grouped, so it's easy to find them, and also they give real granular control. If you choose not to write any code, you can still implement quite a bit of stuff. And then let's look at some of the methods. So the document viewer still has all the methods if you want to program that way. So you load a document using these methods from file or from stream. If you want to just abandon, you can call close document. Then you have methods for navigating through the pages. You can jump to a page, and then you can zoom in and zoom out. So this will zoom the document according to the predefined zoom steps. And then you can call these methods to rotate the page. And as far as the events are concerned, so you have an event to recognize when the zoom changed and then update the interface as required. And as it's done here, you also have an event to detect when the page changed so that you can update the indicator for what the current page number is. And also you have other events to tell you when the document was loaded and closed. And if you want not have the built-in password dialog, you can program the onNeed password event to specify the password. And another important point to note about the events is the organization of the information that comes into the event. So as usual with every other Delphi event, we have the sender argument, and then there's only one other argument that comes in, which is the event args, if I can type that right. And the event args contains all the information that comes into the event. All our events for Xtreme DocumentStudio are designed this way. There are only two arguments that come in. And the second argument is actually a class type, so we can extend it without having to break user code. And also the event and the code that we write looks really neat with just two arguments. Hope this introductory demo gave a fair idea of the document viewing capabilities of the new document viewer and its APIs. Let's move on now to the next topic. Every team that wants to design a good product would set design goals to validate the results of their product against. These were the design goals we set for ourselves. And they are really simple and straightforward. But also, they're what matter for a good user experience. Let's actually take examples from the product and validate them against these design goals. The password-related settings are a good example for ease of use, customizability, and control, where you could see that if you didn't want to write any code at all for this aspect of the application, you could still configure the viewer to show the built-in dialog for password input, and you could also set the number of tries it should allow the end user to enter the correct password. And when one wants to handle the password input through code, the event gave full control to do so. With regard to the second and third goals, you could see that there's a single viewer, a single printer, and soon there will be a single document converter component for working with all formats. You also saw that the APIs were the same on the viewer for operating on all formats. The last point about lending the product to be extendable in terms of being able to externally add support for more formats is an important goal we wanted to achieve. And we'll see an example of that in the next demo. Here's how the modules and classes are layered. We have separated out the platform-independent parts and put them into the core module. The main framework and the internal document object model reside here. On top of this is the layer that holds the engines for each format that bind to the appropriate component framework at compile time. And then there are the visual controls that are totally separate for VCL and FireMonkey. The VCL is what's ready now and what we are seeing here. Here are the main entities of the product that become relevant when we need to add support for new formats. The framework class enables the format engines to register themselves with the system and also enables all parts of the system to query for and request a format engine for a given input file. The TGT document class is the base class for all format engines. Then there is a page class that every format engine needs to descend from to expose its pages. And there's also the possibility of implementing a specific viewer for a given format by descending from the base viewer class. But most times that's not necessary. Implementing a basic format engine will be enough. We should be more clear on this in a moment. To understand the working of the system, the role the framework plays, let's follow the sequence of execution when the load method is executed on the document viewer. I should tell you though, this is a highly simplified depiction of the actual flow. And to understand it better, we need to know a few things. One, the document viewer class is a container for the specific viewer classes based on the format kind. And what's the format kind? PDF and DOCX, as far as this system is concerned and as far as viewing is concerned, fall into the same kind because they're both page-based formats in the sense that their contents can be represented as pages. And then image is a kind, spreadsheet is a kind. So specific viewers are developed for specific kinds of documents and not for each specific format. Point 3, the currently registered viewers in the system are for page-based formats and for image-based formats. So it's only necessary to implement viewers for kinds of documents that are not page-based or image-based. So the user calls load on the document viewer, passing a file or a stream. The document viewer calls on the framework to get to know the format of the passed file or stream, and the framework uses one or more of several possible ways to identify the format. It first checks for the file extension, if the extension is present in the file name. If it can't figure out the format with that approach, it checks against the file signature the handler has registered with the framework. If that doesn't work, it puts the file or stream through each handler and checks if any of them can handle the input. Once the format is identified, the document viewer calls on the framework again to know if a custom viewer has been registered for the identified format. If there is a custom viewer, the framework returns that, else it checks if a handler is available, connects the handler to the default viewer, which is the page-based viewer, and returns the default viewer. Well, looking back on this again, you can forget about all I have said to explain this slide. All you need to know is as long as there is a handler or a viewer registered for a given format, the framework will figure out which is the correct handler for the format and whether there's a file extension or not, or it's changed to another extension, the framework will return the correct handler for the format. Let's get back to some more demos now. To start with, we'll see how to implement support for a custom format in the viewer. And here we'll see how to implement support for fast report. Then we'll see a demo on document conversion, where we'll convert from DOCX to PDF. And then we'll go into a real-world scenario of an accounting application and see how we can really use this product in such situations. So let's switch to the IDE. I'll open the demo for the viewer that supports the custom format. And first we'll go and see how the implementation is for this new format. So it's the same viewer that we saw earlier. There's no code change as far as the viewer is concerned, but there is one extra unit added now to this project. And let's go see what that is about. Okay, so this is the handler for the fast report format to integrate fast report viewing capability into the document viewer. So how do we implement such a handler? Here are some steps. So first of all, we need to extend the base document class and the page classes, implement the methods load, get page count, and get page on document, and then get size and the actual draw method on the page class. And then finally, we register the new handler with the framework. And let's see the implementation for these methods and classes. So a new document handler derived from the base class. And the important methods here are load, where we load fast reports report file into the fast report class that will process this report file, and then get page count, which gets the total number of pages in the fast report from fast report itself, and then the get page, which is the important one here, which simply accesses the page class, the other class that we implemented, to return the actual page that is drawn onto the viewer's canvas. Let's go see that class. And here the main method is the draw method, which gets the canvas property of the viewer. And all this method has to do is take the fast reports page and render that page onto the canvas that is passed into this method. And that's done here this way. And the last step is to register the format with the framework using the register document method. Let's run this and see how it works. And let me go back to my samples where I have a fast report stored. Let's drop that into the viewer. And you can see now the viewer supports viewing of fast report reports as well. And all the viewing features and tools coming to you for free. That was about the custom format. Let's see what else we've got. Okay, then we have the DOCX to PDF conversion, and it's open here, so let me just bring that up. And here we are using one of eDocEngine's features, that is that it exposes a canvas that we can draw onto, and then it has the capability to process the commands or the GDI commands drawn on it. And Xdoc, on the other hand, has the capability to draw to a canvas. So we're using those features and enabling the conversion from DOCX to PDF. And let's have a look at this code. So first of all, the input file is accepted, and then the output file. And then when the convert button is pressed, the basic properties are set on eDocEngine's PDF engine. Then the begin doc is called on the PDF engine. And on the DOCX document, all the pages are run through, drawing them one by one onto the PDF canvas exposed by eDocEngine. And then finally, the document is closed. Let's run this. Okay, so for this again, I'm going to have to look up my samples. Okay, we're right there. So let's open some of these documents and see how they convert to PDF. And you can see eDocEngine's setup dialog or configuration dialog coming up. We can turn this off if we don't want to see it. But anyway, it's on by default. And you can see the PDF being generated of the DOCX. And there was no printer driver involved or office automation involved. Let's load something else, maybe the one with columns. Okay, this one renders too. And the other one with images. Okay, that one. Okay, that looks pretty good. Right. So this task of converting a document from one format to another, once integrated into Xtreme DocumentStudio, will be a matter of calling just one method on the document converter component, just this way. Okay, let's spend a bit of time on the last one that we have. So the scenario here is we are developing an accounting application where we obviously record transactions, and those transactions can have associated documents that you also want to store along with the transaction within the system. So it's not convenient if you can't open and view those documents and operate on those documents right within the system. If it's just an attachment or it's some file reference on the file system, it becomes quite difficult for the user to actually access those documents. So if the documents, which are proofs for the transactions, can also reside within the system, then it's so much more easier, and the accounting application is so much more friendlier to the user than it would be otherwise. Okay, so here I have taken data from an Access database and loaded it into the client dataset. And the fields are to hold basic transaction details like date and what's the expense head, some description, some notes, and the amount, and the actual document, which is the proof for that transaction. So let's run this, and we'll also go see the documents that we have loaded into these records first. Okay, so for the Patil confirmation, I've used this PDF, and then I've used different formats basically to show the ability of the viewer to open those formats. And then for another bill, I have used this. Actually, it's from a recent trip abroad, and then I have constructed a DOCX file with some miscellaneous expenses. Okay, so you can see already the documents are loaded into this viewer, and as we go through the records, the actual proof for the transaction is also visible along with the transaction. Okay, so what's the code in this application? There's actually nothing, because this is the new component that we have introduced into Xdoc. It's a data-aware document viewer, which exposes a data source and a data field property, which you can just set to a data field and a data source, and your documents will start viewing. And it's quite nice because this document viewer can view images and all kinds of document formats, and as we go on, we'll be supporting more and more document formats. I guess we are done with our demos now. What else do we have? Okay, some general information about the product. So first of all, what are the editions that Xtreme DocumentStudio will be available in? There's the View Print Convert edition, which will have all the viewing, printing, and conversion functions for all formats that we are going to support in this product. And it will also have report export capability as eDocEngine has now, but that will come in later. And the other feature that it will have is the ability to put PDF documents or DOCX documents or other documents that it supports into reports. So basically embedding electronic formats into reports will be another capability that this edition will have. And then the other edition is the Ultimate Edition, which will have all the features that the View Print Convert edition has. In addition to that, it will have full-fledged document creation ability and then document processing that PDF Toolkit has now, and much more. And also, it will be the Ultimate Edition, which has the source code included in the product. So what's our roadmap for this product? So right now, you can go download the preview of this product. It's available on the special page set up for Code Rage. That's www.gnostice.com/Code Rage. You can download the preview there, which supports viewing and printing of PDF, DOCX, and image formats right now. The next release, that is the first release of the full product, which will be in a few weeks from now, which will include the viewing, printing, and conversion capability, and also the DB document viewer component. After that, in December and at the beginning of 2014, we'll have the report add-ons, which I was talking about, and we'll keep enhancing the viewing, printing, and conversion features. As for FireMonkey support, we expect to have it in Q1 of 2014. So we want to keep it really simple, have small incremental releases, and focus on quality all the time. And what is the special we have for CodeRage? So the Xtreme Dev System Delphi subscription, which includes source code and all the products that Gnostice makes for Delphi, which includes the Xtreme DocumentStudio product that we just saw. We are offering a special discount on this subscription, $100 discount that is valid right through to December 31st. We want to give you enough time to see the product, the new product, and make up your mind slowly. And this discount is only available through the special page we have set up. So that is www.gnostice.com/coderage again. And looks like that's it from me. Thank you.
We have a few questions for you that are queued up. Can any of the technologies from Gnostice be used with mobile?
Yeah, I think one of the last slides told that. So I think that would have to support, or rather we would have to support FireMonkey then. So that's coming towards the end of this year or beginning of next year.
Okay. I mean, someone could still, for example, build a data snap technology where they have mobile Gnostice stuff on the Windows side in a data snap server and have a mobile application that would connect to it and do things, right? Because it's a PDF engine. I mean,
sure. Yeah, you could. You need Windows to host the server, but then you can wrap it into some services and probably get images across the wire and then show it on the mobile as well. Yeah.
Where can people download the toolkit, and are there any special deals for Delphi registered users?
Okay, so right now there is one special running, so that's for everyone, whoever is here.
Yep, I'm scrolling over here.
Yep. Yeah, it's right here on this slide, the last one.
Okay.
So they can just go over to this page, the page that is set up for CodeRage.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's up on the screen now, the CodeRage. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the text part. Excellent. And there's the special offer here, right?
Okay, and also the preview version can be downloaded right here on this page. So that link is there as well.
Let's see. Oh.
Download Xtreme DocumentStudio Delphi. Oh, that's.
Oh, right here. Okay, here's the trial as well. So, is it possible to convert, or do you support IBM Lotus Word profiles?
At least not initially, but we have opened it up in such a way, as I showed in one of the demos. It's quite easy to implement. If the format is easy to process, of course, it's quite easy to implement a handler for it, which the framework will support, and that will take care of viewing, printing, conversion, and whatever else you can do within the system.
Can you edit a document and then save them?
So for the formats that we have supported now, not currently, but yes, that's in our plan. We will be getting there.
Can you use this engine to compress PDF documents?
So we have tools for that. The one listed here on the page that we are seeing now, that is PDF Toolkit, does that work of compressing PDFs.
Okay.
But yes, that's the one.
Okay. So that's PDF Toolkit.
Yeah, but this Xtreme DocumentStudio, so as I probably explained at the beginning, is going to have all of it, but it's going to happen over a few cycles.
Okay.
All of what the current tools have.
Okay, let's see. I only need a viewer for multiple formats, PDF, DOCX, JPEG. Do you have a license for only a viewer with no edit or export?
Yes. So when we release, this product will be available separately also, the Xtreme DocumentStudio, and the ViewPrint. We are specifically releasing a ViewPrint convert-only edition just for this, and it's also going to be very affordable. I can say that much for now.
Got it. Okay. Go ahead, Jim. I can type if you want to keep going through the Q&A log.
I use encode stream of a PDF, can the stream be opened in Viewer?
Yes. So there is a load from stream method to load from streams.
Will there be a beta or preview of the FMX version?
Yes, so of this one as well as itself, the VCL version, we are going to be releasing the preview. So the preview is there right now. People can download it and check. So even the FMX version, we will be having one before release.
And can you elaborate on what will be included in the upcoming FireMonkey release?
So first we would like to complete the viewing, printing, and conversion functions for the formats that we handle now, which is PDF, DOCX, and images.
Are there any plans to support Excel?
At some point, yes.
What formats do you support to be converted as images, like PDF?
You can convert from PDF to image and DOCX to image and image to image right now. So the framework is set up in such a way that any new format that we bring into the system, it will support rendering, and so we will be able to support conversion to the format supported by the system, the other format supported by the system. So yeah, right now PDF and DOCX and other image formats to image formats.
Okay, and will the FM version work the same on Mac OS X files as well as Windows, as it does on Windows?
If the question was about viewing, it should work the same way.
Viewing should be the same way, but maybe editing, maybe not?
We're not sure about that yet because we haven't come to that point yet.
And can you tell more about your license policy?
Yes, so it's just license per developer. So if you have a license for your developer, then you can deploy your applications royalty-free. Yeah, I think that's what people want to know. Also, we have put up a guide, a licensing guide on the licensing page to like a flowchart somewhat, where it's really easy to understand what type of license, if at all, a special license is required. But most times, let's say you're developing your own custom application, there's no special licensing required, just developer licenses.
Okay. And when the Excel support comes, will that be full support, including graphics, and not just data sheets?
So the plan is to have full support, but it'll come incrementally.
Okay. I think that's everything, because that next one was a repeat of what we just talked about. So, yeah.
So those are all the questions right now. We've got a couple more minutes, otherwise we'll go into break. Again, you can find the link for Gnostice and the special offer in the exhibit hall down here. Just look for this image here, eDocEngine, and the Gnostice link there, and just click on the image, and it'll take you to the CodeRage page.
Now, is that a sample code you showed available on your website or someplace else?
So if you download the preview, it has the stuff I showed. Most of it, the demos are included in that.
Okay.
Okay, Girish, it's as always great. I know it's, what is it, about 10 minutes to 7 p.m., 12 and a half hour time difference from here in California. That's not
right.
too
It's a very convenient time, actually.
Yeah, and it was
unlike for you.
And it was really good seeing you in Bangalore on the launch tour when I was there.
Yes.
Yeah,
we all enjoyed the
Yes,
presentation.
really, I mean, Bangalore is a wonderful place with a lot of technology stuff going on. It's really cool.
Cool. Looking forward to making it
Jim
over.
Jim will get there. It's his turn next. I think.
Yeah.
Others have gone. I've
Right.
gone plenty of times, but I think Jim needs to visit the subcontinent. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And everyone, we've captured all this live Q&A, and we have all the Q&A log. And again, take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.